Thank you. Dr. Agarwal, Madam Justice, and Vivek. So I do one of two things, and I can either, I have a 5-page speech ready. I can either drone through that, and you may pick something up, may not pick something up, or we could keep this a little more energetic and interactive. I know a lot about AI that people have said, and I confess that or brag that also. So when Madam Justice asked how many of you use ChatGPT, a lot of hands went up. Now let's make this interactive. Do you have questions on AI? No hands? So then I don't need to be here. No hands. No questions on AI. Just simple AI. Nobody wants to know what AI is about, what it can do, what it is doing. So you need to seek knowledge. You won't get knowledge for free. You come, you're in this institute, you're learning, you ask questions. One of the key things in getting knowledge is to inquire, to chase after it. It won't come to you. Think about what questions you want to ask. What will, you see, you can ask questions about how will AI interact with us, how will we interact with AI. Do you understand what AI is? Okay, you go with your question first.
As AI gain knowledge and acquire things from all over the internet only, right? So how the accuracy, my main question is accuracy lacks in AI. Like ultimately we also search from Google engines, from other sources through internet only. And AI do the same for us. So how does the accuracy lacks in AI?
Okay, is everybody of the same opinion that AI looks at everything on the internet? Or is AI specific? Or what does ChatGPT do? What do you search for in ChatGPT? Come on, somebody talk.
You all raise the hands. What you search on the chat GPT, anybody can answer on it. कुछ भी क्या सर्च करते हैं? टॉपिक, असाइनमेंट?
देखो, या तो मेरे से सीख लो, नहीं तो फिर मैं अपनी कहानी बोल के चला जाऊंगा और उससे आपको कुछ नहीं सीखने को मिलेगा. कोई क्वेश्चंस नहीं है, सब कुछ आता है. Sorry, somebody is saying something.
Yes. Please stand up, beta.
Sir, we ask for the questions which we don't know, and we ask for the questions which teachers are given in their assignments if you don't understand that question.
Okay, that's a good honest question. Okay, so let me explain to you what AI is. AI is not magic. AI has been around for the last 40 years. You have been using AI for a good amount of your growing up years. You don't know. How many of you remember seeing weather forecast? Yeah, now hands are going up. So what do you think weather forecast is all about? India bought a supercomputer back in the early 70s. How does that do predictions on weather? We have data, we have compute, and we have logic. These are the three pillars of AI. You have data, compute, and logic. What is data? For weather forecasting, you have wind patterns, you have rainfall patterns, you have your, all kind of data which the engine will use for. And then you have the compute. Compute is the power of your computer. The phones that you carry now are more powerful than the supercomputer India had bought. And the third aspect is, how do you look at all this? How do you ascertain all this? The fact that the monsoons comes from the south to the north in certain speeds of the wind, that is how the predictions happen. That is one application of AI. We've only started appreciating AI, we've only started looking at AI when ChatGPT came along. All of you use cell phone, you do your WhatsApps, you do your SMSs and everything, right? क्लास में बैठ के भी छुप छुप के नीचे से मैसेजेस जाते हैं. उसमें how many of you actually use or don't even realize you're using auto correction in your words, spell check, grammar check? What's all that? That's AI. It learns your quirks. People who are dyslexic like me, my E's and A's always go back and forth. वो अपने आप चेंज होता रहता है. You don't even realize. Now in your WhatsApp, especially when after Apple Intelligence, as they call it, has come in, your your sentences have started auto filling up. So it realizes what you're trying to say in the context of who you are messaging it to and the time of day. So a message going middle of the night to your girlfriend or boyfriend will autocomplete in that tone. A message going to your parents will autocomplete in that tone. It will not make that mistake. In my time, we did a lot of mistakes and paid for it dearly. So this is all AI. This has been there for a long time. What you are experiencing now with ChatGPT, which is one of the incarnations of AI called large language model, which is your interaction with the system based on human voice or language. So once you start interacting it with the language, it suddenly came out of the box and everybody is surprised. But AI has been around. Now AI is getting into cars where you see, in most of the cars you have ADAS where you see what is in front of you. It tells you you're changing lanes or you're not changing lanes. This system has been in the trucks for a lot of time. There is a small device which keeps looking at the truck driver's face. If he takes a nap, the truck stops. Accidents have gone down. That's all AI. So this is the pillars on which AI stands. Your compute power, that's your processor. How many of you know what NVIDIA does? Yeah? नहीं पता? NVIDIA was, a lot of you must be gamers. NVIDIA makes graphical processing unit, GPUs. GPUs are the fastest processors available today. That's your processing power. And AI cannot exist without the processing power. Then you have the data which comes in. And the third is the logic on which it will be built. These are the three cornerstones. Now, you are using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a very broad AI. It has not been trained to do legal research. There are AIs which are being trained specifically for legal research. There are AIs which are being trained. How many of you know what e-discovery is? You've not got to that stage of your learning yet? Discovery, do you know what discovery is? AI models are being trained to do discovery into systems, discovery of knowledge. How many of you have already started to do some drafting? There is an art of drafting in how you write a plaint, how you write a document which has to go to court. All of this will be taken over by AI. Your routine applications, and this will not happen as magic. ChatGPT is not going to take over the world. You have to train an AI for a specific purpose. And who trains that? People who are experts in that field. You need to know what you need to train the AI on. So you write the logic. After you write the logic, which is software code and mathematics, then you bring in the data so what will be a data for a drafting AI? We bring in a lot of good drafts. That draft is ingested by the AI or the model, and it becomes the knowledge on which it will further work. Thereafter, when you bring in your raw data in terms of these are the facts of the cases and this is what we should do, and then it will be able to churn out something which you can output, which will be reasonably close to what a human will output. Any other questions? I guess you guys already know what AI does then and what it can do. Fine. So let's switch to the fact that what are the challenges? What do you think are going to be the challenges? Obviously, you guys will be out of a job if you don't pick up AI as a tool, don't learn about AI. That is one of the most, we in our industry, which is the technical industry, we usually say that you either skill up or you lose your job. Simple graduates today don't get a job because they don't have a skill. You are already in a program which is giving you a skill, which is going to make you into lawyers. But this job is also threatened by an AI who can do a simple research, who can, an AI will be able to do case ratios of 20 cases in the time that you take to do one. But AI still has certain drawbacks. What are those drawbacks? One of the primary things which will happen, which will be of a challenge, is ethical and privacy concerns. When I'm training the AI, I'm going to be using data, and that data, by the very nature of the business that you're in, will have privacy or private information of the various people who are the litigants or the defendants. Their data is going to be ingested by the AI. The model will be made based on that. Then AI, there have been cases already in India and the US where certain advocates have created or made plaints and submitted into courts, especially the latest one happened in Kerala High Court. To prove the point or the proposition that the advocate wanted, the AI actually hallucinated a case with the citation and everything. This is another big challenge which is going to come up, because you heard about prompt engineering? Somebody said yes. Anyway, what prompt engineering is about, I don't know if your program has a class on negotiation or interrogation, and if you get a chance, you should go through the books of Sherlock Holmes. One of the few things that he does very well, and Alan Cullen, the way he's written the entire series of Sherlock Holmes books, is the art of interrogation. How do you find out what the truth is? Prompt engineering is exactly the same thing. If the AI has ingested a lot of stuff, prompt engineering is to try and figure out what you need to get the AI to answer to. So all of that is what prompt engineering is. And AI, just like you can make up stuff, AI also makes up stuff, and that's called hallucinations. So in the Kerala High Court, this happened. An entire case law was created to fulfill the proposition that the prompt engineer or the advocate created. So the accuracy and reliability of AI is also sometimes becomes a question mark. Ultimately, when the AI should be used and when the AI should not be used, I'm not sure if you are aware, but there is an EU AI Act which is in place where in the European Union, you can use AI only in some specific areas. You cannot use an AI system for healthcare. So India right now, we don't have a law, but we have guidelines, and based on those guidelines, AI systems will be put into place. Till now, I need you to ask some questions, because I can't drone on because I've already explained to you. I can explain to you a little bit about what machine learning is. Okay, let's get to that then. Okay, when we say AI, how many of you have seen science fiction movies? Which one? Have any of you guys read Isaac Asimov? What science fictions have you read? Sorry? Which one? What happened in that movie? Was there an AI involved?
Was an AI involved? It was up to law. Not in the movie. There was a AI that was responsible for the law making. All the law was given to the AI. It has to was responsible for arms, for firearms and everything. It declared that any offense, it's like if you abuse anything, was declared you will be. There was like 5 or 6 years of jail for minimum crime. So people got it that and they started a revolt against the AI.
Okay, I've seen that. Okay, how many of you actually see Netflix? ये तो सब देखते होगे. अब Netflix में आपको recommendations कैसे आते हैं? The methodology that is used to give you a recommendation by Netflix is called machine learning. That's AI machine learning. So what you search for, what you view, and how you browse through, that's machine learning. The machine is learning your patterns. That's AI working for you. Now, how many times have you guys you use Uber? You use BlueSmart? When you have a problem, do you chat with somebody online to fix that? You do? The other end is an AI. That's a chatbot, which is an AI. You actually don't chat with a person. That. Sorry? Is what? Yeah. And he can actually speak in your language also. That is an AI manifestation called natural language processing, NLP. You actually do not talk to a person. That's an AI. So he or she would be speaking to you, maybe writing to you. That's a chatbot. There's a Google chatbot. How many times have you guys used translation? That's again NLP. That's AI. ChatGPT is one manifestation. NLP is natural language processing. How many of you have got digital boyfriends or girlfriends? Instagram तो सबके पास है. Instagram में आते हैं propositions. आते हैं ना? Digital boyfriend, digital girlfriends के. आते नहीं आते हैं? मुझे आते हैं अभी तक. That is computer vision AI. That's again AI. डीप फेक तो सुना होगा आप लोगों ने. सुना है? Deep fake is again computer vision AI. So AI is used to create. If you try sometimes get into this digital girlfriend or digital boyfriend, you will be able to create the woman of your dreams or the man of your dreams in the AI. Now, if we get a little serious, किस ने when they've got injured or they've done something stupid, have asked ChatGPT how to, आज सिगरेट पी ली, इसको कैसे छुपाएं, आज ये गड़बड़ कर दी, इसको ऐसे कैसे करें, कौन सी दवाई खा के सुबह सिर दर्द ठीक हो जाएगा, आज थोड़ी ज़्यादा पी ली है. पूछा है ChatGPT को? पूछा है ना? सबने पूछा है, मैं भी पूछता हूँ. अब ये चीज़ अगर हम उसको सिर्फ ट्रेन करें एज एन OPD सिस्टम, एन आउटपेशेंट डिपार्टमेंट, and only in the art of answering your questions from the medical side, that's called an expert system. So you guys, with your knowledge, if you create a legal clinic, that will be a legal expert system, and only you guys will be able to challenge that or see whether the output is correct or not. ऐसा एक सिस्टम US में बना है. That system is called do not pay for your parking. So चालान आते हैं. A guy as a law student created an expert system in which if you have a challan, you input that challan number and the AI will tell you how to counter that, where to go, and if possible also challenge that challan. That's an expert system. Now most of the movies you see, like Isaac Asimov movies, you see a lot of robots which become self-aware. Now self-aware and consciousness of a robot is like 1,000 years in the future. We don't have to get worried. Most of you must have seen the movies of Arnold Schwarzenegger in which he becomes a robot and starts killing everyone. That's not the future. That's just the imagination. So one of the key things that AI lacks and will never get is imagination. So robotics is also one of the areas in which AI will come. We've not seen a single robot right now which is AI driven, except what they launched, a robot called Groot. NVIDIA launched it a couple of weeks ago, but that's not yet. It has to be tethered because it gets overheated very fast because of the amount of compute it has to do. So, I've told you most of the manifestations of AI. Now, can anybody make a guess on where does ChatGPT fall into all of this? Hazard a guess. Whoever is answering, please stand up and answer a little louder. Just hazard a guess. It can't be doing, the guy who's doing Netflix can't be, chatting with you through ChatGPT. LLM is a manifestation of natural language processing. It's an NLP. So when ChatGPT is trained, ChatGPT is training on everything that is on the internet, is actually only for your interaction, only from your answering. The fact that it wants to learn about the world is only so that it can produce and give you the correct answer. It is not going to create that. It is only fulfilling your answer from what is available on the internet. There is no logic thinking going on. And our Prime Minister in Paris gave a very eloquent example of this. You can try it on your phones right now. You can ask ChatGPT, Gemini, or any of the AI models which are available to you to draw a person who's a left-handed writing person. Try it. You'll always get a right-handed person in the image. Because the total number of people who are left-handed is less than 2% in the world. One of them is here, Vivek. But he will never be represented correctly on ChatGPT or any of these. You give this, you'll always get an image of a person who's writing with his right hand. So this is called bias creep. The AI has been trained in certain fashion. It cannot suddenly change itself to a different version. What it has learned, it has learned. It cannot unlearn. The biggest limitation in AI, it cannot unlearn. And if you make it learn more, it will still not unlearn. So you have to have, if you wanted to start drawing somebody which is a right-handed person, you not only have to negate the earlier learning, but train it with the new learning, which is approximately thrice that data set. So 2% has to be increased to 1,000%, then it will finally figure out, oh, there are two kind of people in the world, right-hand people, left-hand people. There is a third kind, called ambidextrous, who can write with both hands, sometimes simultaneously, sometimes one at a time. So that learning is out of the box. AI can't do that. So I'll close with that. Hope you enjoyed, you learned something. And please use AI as a tool, like all of us have said. AI is what is going to be the future in terms of the tool that you use. If you keep learning, if you keep increasing your knowledge, it's not going to replace you, but it will be one of your invaluable tools in your practice of law. Thank you.